Good day YouTube, welcome to my channel. My name is Darren, and in this video I'm going to show you how I replace my DI resin. This is my pressure washer cart. I built it. That's my DI tank. I have the Cox hose reel. There's my sprayer and my Krenzel pump. The cart is actually a welding cart that I bought from Northern, and we're going to replace the DI resin off of the tank. I have a funnel pillowcase to capture the resin, an additional water filter that I'll throw in line, and 1 cubic feet of DI resin. This is still full of water. First thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to remove this filter. These attachments here. I'm going to set that aside. It's currently in the bypass mode. I'm going to align it just like this, just to relieve any kind of pressure that may have built up inside the tank. Next, I'm going to remove this mechanism here, the valves. Now I'm going to remove the top, left to loose. It was nice and snug. Looking down in the tube, you can see that there's some water in there. And that red is the old resin. I think I had this for like about 5 years, but I never changed out the resin. What happens is when you're washing your car, it's not doing its job and you'll have water spots. And that's the whole reason why I have the DI. The deionized the water so I don't have water spots when the car is drying, especially here in Florida. Okay, so the top came off easily, it wasn't really seated in well, and I'm just going to pull the tube out. Okay, it's kind of hard to pull the tube out because of all the resin, the old resin that's down in there. There's a strainer at the very bottom of this tube. So there's a trick, is to force water down in here and at the same time pull the tube out. I'm just shaking it to get the resin off of the strainer. There it is. The water trick worked. So there's a trick to use a 3/4 inch pipe so you can force the water in and it'll come out the exit port of the valve. So I'm going to give that a shot. I'm going to see how that works. So I'm not going to make it run to the Home Depot, Ace Hardware, Lowe's, but here's a pipe that my mom uses for her plants, and it works. It's a good size too. So let me take this out. It's kind of dirty. So let's clean this out and utilize this. Because we're going to put the valves back on, and this tube is a lot longer than the one I took out, I'm going to have to cut it to length. I'm going to cut it all the way to the tip. I'm going to leave about a 1/2 inch of gap in the event if it's going to suck up or if it bottoms out in the tank. So let me cut that. You see there's about a 1/2 inch there, and I'm going to cut it right about here. I'll make my mark here. Okay, and there's my mark. I don't know if you can see it, it's so bright out here today. I got my valves, put those back in. Just gonna finger tight these. Finger tight and in. And I'm gonna put, this is the input valve, the input side. Okay, correction. There's arrows on here. This is actually the input. This is where my garden hose is gonna be connected to. That's why I have that old filter here. So just reconnect this, input and output. So this is the output here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this inside the pillowcase so it can collect all the resin. All right, here's a pillowcase. I'm going to put this inside the case. I have a zip tie right here. I'm just going to zip tie the pillowcase to the hose. Fair enough. Okay, you see the hose right there. Just lay that on the ground. Now I want to turn on the water. The water is on right now and it's currently in a bypass mode. So that's the bypass mode there. I'm going to put it in line. So what happens now, while that's in line, it should fill up the bag with resin. You see the resin? Right there, filling up. You know when it's done, once it starts running clear. One cubic feet. I'm looking at the tank as well. The tank is becoming nice and yellow on the inside where it's not dark anymore, where there's resin. Now I hear the water. It's almost, I'm feeling it. Okay, now it's running clear. I don't feel any resin. It's just clear water. I can shut off the water hose now. Okay, I'm just gonna let this thing drain. I'll transfer that to a trash bag in a little while. Meanwhile, let's disconnect this, empty out the tank from the water. How to clean that out. There was some resin that was stuck in the inside, so rinse this out well. Now I want to remove the pipe here. Swap it out for the one with the basket. I'm going to keep this for future. Keep this kit. Okay, just remove that. So you see there's a little bit of resin on the inside. Let's go ahead and rinse this as well. Let's take a look on the inside. Looking down in the tank, got very little resin down at the bottom. So what I want to do is I'm just going to dump that water. See, it's all clear. The water's all gone, and that's it. It's just teaspoon of resin in the bottom. I'm just going to rinse that out. Look how light it is now. So light. Alright, I'm going to clean my threads. The resin's all gone. Let's go take a look at the resin. The old stuff. There's the old resin. That's 1 cubic feet. Alright, let's bust open this new box of resin. That's it. General purpose mixed bead. It's 1.0 cubic feet. Alright, got the funnel. It fits. I'm going to bust this open. There's the resin. It looks like the old resin. It's the consistency of having fine beach sand. I'm using any kind of container. It's a clean container. I'm just going to pour it in. I say pour it in. Dump it in. Okay, the resin is kind of close to the top. You got to be careful too before you put the valves back on. We need to get all the resin off of the threads so I have a good seat. Just gonna add some water. Going to add the remainder. We're almost done. It ain't going to fit anymore. I need more room for the hose to get in. So that's it. I mean, I got it filled to the top. I still need to add room for the pipe that goes down there. This is what's all left in the resin. So I'm going to just save that. Let's go ahead and put the tube down. What I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of force this down in there. And I'm going to use that water trick. Alright, that's the furthest it goes down. Put the water in there. There you go. Now here's the top. I'm just going to make sure it seats in there. There you go. Now let's get to clean the threads. Just a little bit of water. Time to put the valves back on. You notice I didn't put any Teflon tape. There was Teflon tapes earlier on the top of the valve cover. but I didn't put none on this time. All right, it's nice and finger tight. Nice and tight the top. All right, I'm going to go ahead and replace this filter with you don't really need to have this, but I decided to use it. So I'm just going to use this RV water filter and have that replaced. Swap it out. Okay, there's already a gasket on the inside, a strainer, so I don't need to use this. Finger tight. Okay, they're all on there. Let's install. This is the intake. This is the outflow, the arrows in, the outflow out. Currently I have it on DI resin. So the path of the water goes in, goes down to the bottom of the tank with a tube, and then comes in and then comes out of here. Okay, now I'm just going to connect it. This end. This end actually goes into the pressure washer, and I'm going to remove this nozzle, the sprayer, and connect it to the intake valve. Before I add water in here, while it's kind of light, I'm going to put it onto the cart. Verify the tightness is hand tight, and it's going through the resin mode. Let's turn on the water. Water's turned on. There you go, we got water coming out. Let that run for a little bit. Yeah, I'm gonna have some leaks here. That's fine. The leaks are actually right here. Water seeping out. Okay, that's currently DI water coming out. If I want to bypass it, I basically take these two valves and then twist them like that. That's bypassed. That's DI water. Cool beans, we did it. I think it took me about an hour to an hour and a half because I got to record it for you guys to see how it's done properly, done clean, not too much to waste. Hey, if you're new to my channel, please consider to subscribe, leave me a like and a comment. My name is Darren, and I'll see you on the next video. Have a great day.